Ready?
We're live.
Oh shit!
Live?
Taki mushrooms.
I didn't know we were good call.
Good afternoon. Right after I picked up my kids, so that's afternoon, almost nighttime.
I still have got to pick my youngest up, but
What time?
5:00, 5:15 even.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this ain't gonna
Good.
be like
We'll get going because I got something. My dad. I gotta
this
go.
ain't gonna be
for
like
my-
a plus about
I was
3.5
planning
hours.
3.5 hours.
You
but,
know what? We'll make it. We'll make
welcome to episode 112 of Pillar Talk. I'm sitting here with Jeth Ott himself. Before we get started, before we get started, I want everybody to know we all know his name is Jethry Otterman, and he shortens it to make it flow easy and sweet for us, and for that we thank you.
Well, it's band. It's when I started playing music. I can't play no music.
But I made that up on the way here, and I just thought I was gonna blow it out.
I've gotten some Jethries. That's probably my I would
nickname?
say no, my second least favorite. But I'll take it. I'm in your house,
Jethry.
baby. I'm
Okay,
in your
Jethry,
house.
let's go. It's my show. It's okay. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh gosh. What parts? I mean, I'm a dad of two beautiful little girls. I'm a proud believer in Christ. I own a restaurant. I own a pizzeria. I try to do everything I can for my community. I'm a housing commissioner here in the city of Monroe.
Shit.
I try to, I just, it was different when I opened the restaurant, when I bought the restaurant, and actually it's pretty cool. I was just thinking about this yesterday. It's going to be 8 years next week. 8 years that I've owned the restaurant. And and
you started out working for them.
Oh, I worked there for 14 years.
You worked to own it.
I did, man. I worked there for 14 years. I left as a general manager because I still believe this day I wouldn't be the owner of the restaurant if I hadn't left. So I left and I became a territory manager at US Foods. There at the time they were the
it's pretty much gang leader, territory manager,
fancy word for sales rep.
you don't wear them colors in here, boy.
But no, for both of us. But it was a suit and a tie. It was a suit and tie gig. I loved what I did. I was still in Monroe. The Little Brown Jug was my number one account, so I was still part of that. I was still with them, but it did the struggle. The struggle started almost immediately when I left, and it's just the same thing that's happening these days. Is you trying to find the help, trying to find the fit the shoes. So I was doing a lot over there when I left as a general manager. I started there when I was in high school,
and
just
being
cooking.
A general manager helped you be an owner too,
For sure. Yeah. And I was there my whole, I studied culinary arts here at Monroe County Community College, all while being an employee there. And I went and got my bachelor's in hospitality management from Eastern Michigan. That's where I met my beautiful wife. We met in a class that I signed up for 15 minutes before the class started. If that says what kind of a procrastinator I was, and it's something I'm always going to be fighting. I'm always going to be fighting this procrastinating BS. But I signed up for the class 15 minutes before the class started. And I
found your wife.
And I found my angel.
You found
there.
the one.
That's
dude.
the one. So,
wow.
So yeah, so being a general manager, I mean, being there for 14 years and working under such a great owner as Jim Stifler, he really took me under his wing. The first time he interviewed me, we sat in the booth and we sat there, and he told me years later, he ain't gonna work out here. I wasn't. He said he was not impressed with me at all. And you think about it,
Yeah.
Well, 22,
I'm young and hungry. I'm 22, ready to work, sir.
Yeah. Well, I was at Michigan Bar and Grill. Okay. And I was at Johnny Joe's before then. And my buddy Jason O'Connor, still my best friend to this day, his granddad is Jim Stifler. And he was like, "Man, I gotta get you out to Maybe. And I'm like, and I grew up in Monroe. I'm like, where the frig is Maybe? I really didn't know where it was. I got lost, really? Kind of like when I got lost. I've been here before, and I'm still getting lost. Yeah. But I sat down at that little booth, and he'll say to this day he was not impressed by me.
No shit.
Yeah. But we worked. We what I loved about that restaurant was when I got there, it was more or less just a burger, shot in a beer kind of place. It had just built on the middle dining room.
What year was it when you started?
This was 2001.
Okay.
2000 fresh in 2001. So this would have been, I started there in March 2001, and then I get my March and May's because I bought it in May of 2014. So
Man.
again, 8 years, man, 8 years. And what a long story short,
Reed Doobie says congratulations on that 8 years.
Woo, thank you. I was at it. Sometimes it feels like it was 80, and sometimes it feels like it was like 8 weeks, because it's something that I, even with all like the stress and the exhaustion, especially these last couple of years, I'm not whining. I'm just talking. It's still the most rewarding thing that I could ever do. And I'm so glad that I found something. Cause they say, you find something you love to do, you're never going to work a day in your life. I kind of call it BS because I'm working my butt off in that place.
Right.
But it's
you're not just, you love cooking.
I love cooking.
And you love that the experience to give people.
Well, but
also you're owning now. You're doing everything.
Yeah,
you're not doing just one thing.
Well, and I'm able to, what I think comes with that is that, like, I'm able to, well, I showed you the picture of the patio set I put up. I'm able to make those kinds of decisions. One thing that's great about owning is that, it's my money. I can spend it. I don't need to talk to myself. Kind of one of the negatives of owning is that, like, there's been probably quite a few times in these last 2 years during this pandemic where I was like, I need a boss. I need somebody to tell me what the frig I need to do. But there was nobody, because this is all new world. So it's
your wife wanted to step up in that.
She does. She has a great career. She'll
boss you around at home, not at the restaurant.
No, the boss. She doesn't want to. She really doesn't.
Yeah.
But she's boss at home. Oh yeah. What's the girl club? I got 2 little girls and her, and man, the way they freaking it's bad. I even got a female dog, Bailey. I'm like, man, I couldn't even get a penis on that one. The cat's a boy, but I mean, he doesn't even. We got him fixed, so he's still. No, yeah, right. He's still mad. He's still mad at me over that one. So, one thing I love about, just, I guess, being the owner is that I'm able to give back. I think you guys get a little bit of sense of that from me. I knew when I bought this restaurant, one, that I wasn't going to waste my life away in that place. I wasn't going to be there, and I still work. I mean, at least
own it to make the money, and
like that,
because you're constantly reinventing the place. You're doing a lot of good stuff.
You guys are helping. I can't tell you how much has been a blessing just having you guys,
dude. It's
giving me a spark in my ass, man. Like just the response for the murder mystery and all these things. That's the kind of stuff that gets me again. It gets excited. And I'll tell you, I was probably the last year I was getting, I wasn't depressed. I was really, I had become. So when the state shut us down and we went to just curbside carry out, there was like this sense where we turned on the gangster rap. We started cussing in the kitchen because there was no employee, and there was no customers.
No customer service, so it got baby.
Really loose, man. And somewhere when the first time they opened us, we were able to open back up, open the doors, and I knew that people had changed. But I changed, and something that started that I hadn't really experienced since high school was like this anxiety. And
oh shit,
I'm not throwing this on you guys, but you guys have really helped me. You guys have really helped me these last couple of weeks, and I feel like a couple of weeks ago I made a nice little turn on the anxiety, and I feel really good. And I think part of that, what I tell guys, I'm also sober. It'll be 4 years since I had a drink. It'll be 4 years this September.
Congratulations.
Thanks, man. Thanks. That was out of control for a while. Never got in any trouble, thank God. Decided to quit on my own. But that's something that the program Alcoholics Anonymous kind of put in front of me, was that every single day, my biggest, the best thing I can do for myself in the morning is get out of my own freaking head, get out of myself, right? Because and I'll admit, for probably about a year and a half, I was sucked up to my head. I was letting the negativity and the BS and all the nonsense that was going on in this world really get to me. And I attribute you guys to help me get out of that. And that's just, if anything, just something to look forward to at work, something special, something that again gets me out of my head. And that's a job I got to do every single morning.
Right. And we thank you for giving us the opportunity Like that's a big thing too, because we're just out here trying to learn.
You
We're
guys
just
are
out,
doing
and
good,
you're
man.
giving us
You
the
guys are good
opportunity
dudes.
to.
I hope if anything, I've shined a little light on you guys. I know a lot of
Yeah.
my
Oh, yeah.
buddies are watching you guys
Mhm.
and really big fans. I think Maybe Day is going to be cool too. when you
Oh,
guys
it's
are
gonna be
out
great.
there. It's
It's
going to
gonna
be
be
a
great.
blast. So
And you
Let's
wanna
talk about Maybe Day.
let's
a little
talk
bit.
about the man behind the curtain wants to talk about Maybe Day.
Yeah, oh shit! Yeah,
The wizard, right? The
who
wizard.
fuck's that guy?
I thought we were alone
Yeah,
here,
dude.
man. I'm gonna put my shorts back on.
The other guy. Yeah. So
Maybe
when did
Day.
you take over Maybe Day?
Okay, so I would say when I bought the restaurant, not 2014, because I bought the restaurant in May of 2014, and Maybe Day's always been in May.
Yep.
So I kind of missed a boat on that year. I was there. I literally signed the asset purchase agreement and all these, and with the lawyers and all this crazy stuff, and we were still waiting to get the liquor license transferred. That didn't happen until December, but it was just too quick. It was only 2 weeks, and I was back in the kitchen and Maybe Day. So I would say 2015, I became more and more involved.
Okay.
And really 2015, I just started, just in that short year or so, I was able to help so many different nonprofits. One of the things we do in the restaurant is every single month, I open my banquet room up to a nonprofit. And I let them come in there and they do their 50-50 and they do their silent auctions. And then I go ahead and I give them 20% off the whole restaurant for the whole day. I write them a check.
No shit.
And I'll tell you, that was probably, again, getting out of myself. It's not all about Jeth and his ego and his beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Getting out of myself and helping somebody that can't help themselves,
Mhm.
or helping somebody. What happened in return, man, you make a ton of friends. When you put yourself out, you guys are finding out, you guys are putting yourself out of there, out of your comfort zones. You're doing things that you would never done years ago. And people appreciate that. And so the first Maybe Day that I really helped was 15. And all I did was I closed my blacktop parking lot, the front one, and I just set up all the nonprofits I had taken care of for that year.
Okay.
And then the following year, I had a little bit more to do with it. And the following year, and then it was 2018, and it was down to me, Brad, and Stephanie, and they were both like, "This is gonna be our last year, Jeth." And I said, "Please don't do that to me. Please don't do it to me." And you know, Maybe Day came and went in 2017, and then January 2018, I both reached out. I said, "Guys, are we gonna do this?" They're like, "I think you're gonna do this."
Yeah.
And I had to make the choice if I was gonna do it, and I did it. And it ended up being 2019 ended up being just a great year. We had one of the best turnouts. And then again, 2020, 2021, we took 2 years off. I could have done 2021, but for the festival to go as successful as I hope it does every year, I got to start in January, man. And if you rewind to January 2021, my restaurant was shut back down, you know?
Oh.
So I had to think.
You had a lot more on the plate.
Well, I mean, was the restaurant going to be open in May? I had no idea, because the previous year, the restaurant wasn't 2020. The restaurant wasn't open in May. So I just made a decision by February, and I said, I'm just going to cancel the damn thing again. This year there was no holding back. I had to do it this year. So I started probably just about when I bought the restaurant. And
started getting involved, and now okay.
And now again, I was
now I'm the mayor of Maybe, you know.
Yeah. I don't wanna. Everybody says that crap too, and I'm like,
just eat it. And take it,
yeah, that's what it is.
Just fucking take it.
Like when I first came out there 20 some years ago, they were like, "We're gonna call you Jethro," and I'm like, "No, it's Jeth or Jethrini, whatever you said, whatever it is." Jethrini. Now it's even. I even have a buddy in high school that said, "I'm Jethoroni, the San Francisco treat." I'm like, "Good God, that's a terrible one too." But where was I going?
Maybe Days.
Yeah. So I just I was. It's a lot of work, bud. It's a lot of work. It's a ton of work. It was a lot easier this year.
Because everybody's hungry to get out and do the stuff. You know?
And I think because I had 2019 completely underneath my belt by myself that I did. And you know, I had actually the one of the ladies, Stephanie, that used to run it. She texted me today and she goes, "Can I do anything for you in the meantime before Saturday?" Because she has one of what she runs a nonprofit.
Okay.
It's you'll see them out there, super cool. She'll bring out a bunch of dogs, and it's those service dogs.
Okay.
So you'll get out there and you'll see all the service dogs over there with the nonprofits. And she asked me actually just when I was parking, she says, "Is there anything I can do in the meantime before Saturday?" I said, "It's in God's hands now. There's nothing anybody can do. You just pray
We
for
just
good
hope,
weather."
yeah.
That's it, man. That's
Well, you
it.
took it over by yourself in 2019, and then you got shut down. The better you get better, the more you do it. You
For
get
sure.
better at it.
Oh, and I think it's going to get easier and easier. And again, just, something hit me too. And I think it was because I know you guys are going to be out there, and I'm going to have so many people out there. See, the thing is, I'm going to have so many friends out there.
Mhm.
It's going to be like a big party in the streets, big family friendly party. And like, what's the worst can do? If worst comes to worst, I'll just run the brain jerk tent and hide.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You guys just cover
go
me
ahead.
up with your towels, your blankets, Jeth Rini? Never heard of her.
I call my wife Jeff sometimes.
That was a compliment.
Yeah. And
Rita wants to know, is Hunter playing maybe day?
Hunter Brooks, a dear friend of mine, we had it's so funny. Whoever asked that, he probably put her up to that. He had asked me if he could play a show that night and what it's looking like. So please don't quote me on this, but we're looking at probably an outside show in July for Hunter Brooks. So Josh, really, the man behind the curtain. I didn't have it in me. I didn't have it in me because he starts about 9:00. And at that point, I'd already been there 15 hours running that whole festival outside. And it's a small little village, but it's a lot of freaking work. It's still a lot of running around. And
it's a big event, dude.
It's a big event.
When I was a kid, I would love going out there.
Yeah. And I hope to make it proud. I know 2019, and I'm certain that 2022 is going to be a good year too.
So that's this Saturday.
That's this Saturday, May 7th, 11 to 5. And I'll give you want me to give you a lowdown on what's going on?
Yeah, everything.
All right. So I'm blessed enough to own the Village Pizza Company, which is across the street from the Little Brown Jug. In that little lawn area, I'm going to have Tyler's Exotics.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking about all these different petting zoos and who wants goats when you can get an alligator? So I got Tyler's Exotics set up over there. Directly at that intersection, I'm going to have a great band. They're called they must be great. Dixie High.
They're a great band. I don't know who they are, but
Dixie Highway. They'll be playing out in the streets. And then we're going to have all the fair food. We're going to have the elephant ears. We're going to have the corn dogs. We're going to have the vinegar French fries. I got 4 food trucks going down the road there. And then on the other side, I'm going to have all those nonprofits. So I'm going to have my buddies from the Army recruits are going to be out there. There's going to be a little politics, unfortunately, out there. It'll be all right. But all the it'll be all right. I keep
brain jerk don't do it, but it's okay.
Brain jerk ain't going to be. They're going to be over the cool end now. And then we have, I call it the Bounce Village. I rent 4 moonwalks and a maze for the kids through Poupard moonwalks.
That's fucking
They give me a great deal on that. So it'll be, I call it Bounce Village. I put on a free carnival. And if you see it, I got all these boxes and boxes of inflatables and stuffed animals, shit you get at the fair, but it's completely free for the kids. Now, 2019, what I did was I got a hold of a company past Ipsy, and they had all these wooden box games, they call them. And there's like, the coin toss, the balloon pop, all that kind of stuff. Well, I'm sitting there, I paid almost $2,000. I had to drive Friday before Maybe Day. I had to drive past Ypsilanti to go pick them up. I said, piss on it. I made the investment and I bought my own wooden games. So I got like a frog hopper you hit with a frog and launched a rubber frog on there. I got a fishing game. It's a wooden game. All that's going to be a potty toss, a balloon pop, a ring toss, all these cool stuff. That's the Little Brown Jug's free carnival. Every kid goes in there. They have a blast and they just get a free gift on their way out. We have another carnival that a local church is going to do. Did it super cool. They came out in 2019 and they actually have like 4 tents in a row and they do the same thing. It's almost like a health fair carnival, but it's all, again, free for the kids. If you keep on going, we're going to have the trolley. It's an actual trolley. We jump on a trolley with the kids and we head over to Stoneco and Maybe. And what Stoneco does is a great supporter of the village and the community and everybody. Stoneco cleans up their whole stone quarry, and you bring your kids out there, they'll give you a tour of the stone quarry. No shit. And you get to take a trolley tour, a trolley trip there, trolley trip back.
Oh, I'm going.
If you come back on this side of the fence, I know the bank's doing something. I'm not 100% sure what they're going to do. Bank's going to do something. And I got 50 vendors over at Barker's old Barker Trading Post. I'm going to have all those vendors from candles to soap to baked goods to, I mean, and they're really cool jewelry, really cool.
Anything you want.
Anything. And then I have antique tractor show in my blacktop parking lot.
Ooh.
Yeah, which is really cool. It's an antique tractor group that they bring all their tractors out at least 3 times a year to the jug.
Shit, that's cool.
And one thing that you might remember, well, no, it's way before my time, but when Maybe Day started, I don't know, probably 40 years ago, it started as a farmer in Maybe selling flowers for Mother's Day. So one thing I did in 2019, I brought the flower sales back. Unfortunately, I'm not going to have flowers this year. It just came down the hatch. What it is the florist that I used, and then the other 3 florists that I'd reached out to see if they could step in. They don't even have the staff to man their own operation, let alone
nobody wants to work right now.
It's tough. And so I got a hold. We're members of Grace Lutheran here on Monroe Street, and we've been piggybacking with Trinity and with Holy Ghost out there.
Okay.
Holy Ghost is doing a strawberry sale. What's better?
Why not?
I'd rather have strawberries and flowers. I mean, I don't know about everybody else for Mother's Day, but
they come from flowers.
True story. They budded. So we're gonna have a strawberry sale in front of the little brown jug. I'm trying to think of anything. I know I'm missing just a ton of stuff.
It's going to be a great time.
It's going to be a blast,
everybody gets out there.
And really, like the petting zoo, the carnival, the bounce houses, that's all free for the kids. Again, this is all about community. It's really for us to come out and show off our village. I love that. I love that little village out there.
That's my
it's your stomping grounds,
yeah,
man.
dude.
Just so everybody knows, it's this Saturday, May 7th.
11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Like I said, most of it's free. The fair food you're going to pay for. Anything you buy from the vendors, you got to pay for. I hope you get a slice of pizza from Village or for a burger from the little brown jug.
Are you going to be offering like slices of pizza?
We're going to do 2 slices and a can of pop for $6. Can't beat it.
Can't beat that.
And it's good pizza. It's damn good pizza too. We're doing good stuff. Yeah, we open.
I've tried the little brown jug. I need to go try some Village pizza.
Maybe day.
Maybe
day.
You
got a stutter? You having a stroke, bro? What's the matter?
I want to say real quick, thank you for sponsoring the morning show.
Yeah, thank you.
The least, I mean, you guys are damn real. I mean, you guys are for sponsoring stuff. You guys are pretty good price. Actually, I owe you for next month, don't I? Before I leave, I'll square off with you guys. I don't have my wallet. I'm just talking crap.
Yeah, he's just talking shit. Look at this guy.
Maybe day. Maybe I'll cash in one of those vendor checks. No, I'm kidding. No.
Look at this guy trying to strong arm us out of it.
No, you said 2 months, Josh. No, and you guys, like I said, if the least I can do for what you guys have done for my business, I mean, the circulation of that video and the excitement. Again, the excitement you guys gave me. The least I could do is throw a couple bucks for your.
Right.
I'd like to be a permanent sponsor on this.
And show. I would like to say that you got into us because recently I'm gonna shout out Jeff Copey.
Yeah,
he got into my head last week, and he hasn't got out.
That's a good thing.
He's got space.
That's a good thing.
There. Yeah,
I hope I can.
And you did too. And like
bell my way in there.
Once
too.
I was like, me and Josh sat down. Josh was like, "We need to light it up better. We need to make it not like better as in we don't want to show up there fingers in our butts, not have nothing to talk about. You know what I'm saying?
I think to just for this show, So what I'll say is to always have something to come back. So you're saying Tuesday sports.
Yeah.
So you guys will get off on which I love. I
Yeah.
love watching you guys while I'm opening the kitchen because you guys are at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Usually from 10 and 11, I got you right there on the steam table, and I'm listening to you guys while I'm cooking bacon and stuff. I think you guys are hilarious. One thing that I always need something to bring me back down to earth, because I'll get off on these stories and be like, did we even talk about maybe day? Yeah, we talked about maybe.
Yeah,
bring
that's
it
what
back
it
to
is.
the table. And I think that's just you guys growing. When I saw you guys announced that, I think Saturday or yesterday or even
Sunday, maybe
yesterday.
Who
or
knows,
Sunday.
dude?
I think that is going to get you guys back. And you guys are doing amazing stuff, but I know as me in my head, I always need something to come back to, something to ground me back. And may it be just for that shift, may it be for that day. That's why the wife, she gave me a schedule book.
Those are important. Writing shit down is important,
brother. That right there. I've been on that for 2 months now.
Well, he doesn't use it very well.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he one day late.
It was on my freaking calendar, and it wasn't on my freaking book, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
Thank you, Wizard. Thanks for throwing me under the bus. Every once in a while, I
guy.
think I'm getting my shit together, and there's always a friend to throw me under the bus like Josh,
Always an asshole, dude. Oh, believe me, he throws me under the bus every day. I was supposed to be on there yet. Well, that's what he does on this show.
It's called self-accountability. And if you can't do it, your friends will do it for you.
Quit teaching me, learn yourself.
Well, I told him it was growth. Like, you shoot me a compliment back now. Now I'm talking to the wall. Now I'm talking to the wall. You got me talking to the wall.
That's how you know I love you. I'm keeping us all self-accountable.
Pants are on. I'm talking to the wall.
It's weird, dude.
So
when you have kids, you learn things like this. You know, your dad was always right all along.
I'll tell you, scheduling and having a set schedule. It's a bedtime routine. My youngest is special needs, and I'll tell you right there, that changed my life right there. That was one of the, that's different perspective, man. And it really, like, with her, it's everything is on a schedule. Everything it's got to be routine. Her sleep, and even my oldest, Olivia, kids are in my opinion are the best with routine. And something I learned about having routine with kids is I'm better with a routine. I'm better with a schedule, and I'm getting better, Josh. Dang.
Yeah.
You gotta be.
It's okay. Routine's very important. Our morning routine just got screwed with because the sauna's closed.
I was like, I swear to God, if he says Sunday again, I'm a day late.
Right. And what I like about it is we had the mental health Monday or whatever today, and we always had something to go back on. But it's like, it even gets me to start thinking about, now I'm researching stuff that's gonna better my personal life, show, everything, all that. I'm interested in sports, and it's kind of stuff we're interested in, so it's not a task.
It's value.
Right.
We're bringing
find
value.
interest in these things. I tell my staff, I try to tell my find interest in bettering yourself. Because I think, with so much that's going around here, so many people are just they're, I am who I am. Look at me. I own a restaurant, I own a pizzeria. I got a nice house. I got a family. What the fuck do I need to do? Right. I'm a piece of work, man. I need to work on myself every single day. And a lot of that's mental health. And that's, I'm sorry that I put out Sports Tuesday, because that's probably one of the weakest ones. But Mental Health Monday, a lot of people hurting right now, man. A lot of people hurting right now. This pandemic was not good for a lot of people, and I know it wasn't good for me. And I feel like I had a pretty strong backbone with my family and my higher power and my. That's the thing. I'm a member of AA. I go to at least 2 meetings a day, just again to better myself. Not because I have the urge to drink on a Monday morning, or I have I'm going to go out to the bar, or I go to a meeting on Thursday. It's to ground myself. It's you know, part of AA.
It's part of your routine.
It's part of my routine. You're darn right. And to have a group of individuals that'll sit around a table and you can pretty much say anything you want in front of them, they're not going to judge you, man.
Yep.
That's really what I think about you guys. You know, when I shared the video, the finished video of when you guys came out and did a taste of, I said, these guys accepted me for who I was. Mm-hmm. And there's not a lot, you know, a lot of people will say that they're accepting and they're you know, they're up.
But then they talk, you know, somebody comes by and they're like, that guy was weird.
Not only do we accept you, buddy, but we love you.
I love you guys, man. I've been watching you guys for a couple years now. Well, when you got Miss Katie Beth Davis, you know, that kind of took off. Yeah. That put you guys at least it's what got me guys listening to you guys, and I've been listening to you guys since. You guys are. This community needs us, and this community needs Mental Health Monday. Mm-hmm. It really does.
For real. And
it really does.
And I do.
Yeah.
I left and went to talk to somebody about how I feel. How I went to Jeff and had some coping mechanisms. Yeah. Josh called it my Jeff coping mechanism.
I like that. He did on the name. Mm-hmm. I see what he did there.
Asshole.
Yeah.
You know, like I did with Jethry.
Well, that's what, well, you know, that's one thing when I sobered up from the alcohol, man, is I started really thinking about, you know, like I'm trying to better myself, but I also have to, like, it opened up different resources. You know, I went the first summer I was sober. I went to the frickin' dentist, man. The dentist.
Right.
Nobody goes to the dentist.
Yeah.
That's all part of this shit, man. Yep. You know, now I have a family physician to where, you know, I'm grateful. I told you about the anxiety, and I'll just spill the beans, but probably about 3 months ago, they put me on an anti-anxiety. It was a low dose narcotics. I can't have any narcotics. Mm-hmm. So it was 10 years last March that I was 10 years free of opiates, because I went down that road too.
Congratulations on that. I appreciate
that, man. That was a big one too.
That was that's a big reason why I don't take medication today for all the problems I have, because I tell my doctors I love drugs.
There's never enough of a good thing.
Yes, and that's why I told them. I said, don't give me it because I love them, and my dad won't let me come home. And that's the only guy I can go home to right now. That's the only guy to take care of me.
And that's probably the best thing you can do. That's probably the best thing your dad can do for you.
The best thing that ever happened was him saying, you're not coming to my house if you are on any drugs.
Yeah. I, you know, speaking of like my addictive nature, I had my buddy over and I was talking, and we were just at a table, and I don't remember what brought up, you know, my addictive nature or anything. I said, hey man, look over there. And on top of, we got one of those wall-to-wall entertainment centers. There's about that much room from the ceiling to the top of the entertainment center. And just in less than a year ago, I got into Legos. I had a line cook that said he bought a Lego set for his kid. And I was like, did you say Legos? And from then on, I probably spent a good, and I shouldn't say this, but I probably spent about $1,500 in the last year on Legos.
You hear that, wife?
But if that doesn't, no, man. Oh, it's bad. Well, I started with the Harry Potter castles.
Ooh.
So I got Harry Potter. The last one I just did was one of the coolest, and you never know where this is going to lead, but the last one I did was the Home Alone house.
No shit.
And it's a 4-story house. It all opens. The roofs come off.
Does it have Macaulay Culkin in the window?
No shit. It really does. No. The bathroom has
that was a joke.
So
fuckers.
Every single room of the house is a scene from the movie.
No way.
And I'll tell you, but that's something that clears my head at the end of the night when the girls are asleep. It's better than me sitting in the garage drinking my life away. You know, because you think, you know, because I was never a big bar drinker after I got out of college. I became a secluded drunk, and I was in the garage completely by myself. Yeah. And again, the worst thing I can do is be by myself at my own demise. You know, you put me in my garage with a bottle of whiskey, and I'll see you in the morning, man. And you'd think like,
I might not come in the house. I might just sleep in the fucking garage.
Not. That was waking up every morning was like the worst feeling, dude. Mm-hmm. It was like this panic because there's guilt and shame, because you think like, oh, what could Jethro, how much trouble could Jethro get into in a garage by himself? Tons.
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 You're in a soup. You just stewed in negativity for a whole entire 10 hours.
And you start the day in that negativity, and that negativity would
you
not
start the day off not feeling good because you drinking's fucking poison. That's poison, dude.
I had to get up. I had to look around. I had to see if I had caused any chaos, confusion, drama in my own home, and it was just nonsense. But that's, with Legos, with alcohol, with pills.
I'd rather you tinker with little toys than
you're damn
than
right.
drink alcohol.
You're damn right.
Because you're a great dude.
I appreciate that, man.
And helping yourself is helping the community and helping everything. So.
Well, one of my dear friends in AA, he says, and the first time he told me, and I'd probably been about 6 months sober in the program, he goes, "You're a terrible Alcoholic Anonymous guy. I'm like, he's like, you don't understand AA." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You're missing the whole anonymous part." You know what I mean?
Right.
But part of why I bring up my sobriety, my addicted nature to guys like you is, one, because I trust you guys, and two, you are now going to hold me accountable.
Yep.
Right. And the more people that I have not watching me, but the more people that I have in my corner, good guys that are keeping me accountable, the better chance I got, man, because it really, it's, you have to be selfish and fix yourself before you can help anybody else, and a lot of that, I was blessed to give back through the restaurant, a lot through the community. And I shouldn't, I'm going to say it. It was for different reasons then, it was for that back then. Even if I hadn't screwed up on the Monday, May 2nd, right? If I hadn't screwed up yet, it was almost like I had to do something good today to make up for what I'm going to frig up tomorrow. And that became the same thing with my higher power. I was bartering with them. I'm going to do this and I'm going to get away with this. It doesn't work that way, T. It doesn't work that way.
I'm going to repent for my sins before I do it.
And I was making up and a lot of the stuff that, and I wouldn't say that I was doing it for the wrong reasons, like my community stuff, but a lot of that stuff was to try to make myself feel better about my own damn self. Now, and I was doing it to help people too, but now I feel like I do things just for the sense of helping people. And the best way,
and you're doing it for yourself because
right.
you love seeing people happy and appreciate, like, oh my God, somebody's doing this for me.
And it's also to get out of myself, so when they shut me down again, to go back to 2020, of March of 2020, the first week they shut me down, it was the day before St. Patrick's Day, dude. One of the best days of in my career, or in my field, is St. Patrick's Day. I'm sitting on all this corned beef and I'm going into this walk-in freezer in this cooler and I'm like looking at all this food. I'm like, what the frick am I gonna do with it? That next week, I ended up taking, I fed everybody at the hospital at ProMedica, every single person. And I did that for 14 Mondays in a row. I fed every janitor, every nurse, every doctor. And I filled up, if you go back, back to 2020 videos of Facebook and stuff, you'll see me every Monday going in there. And what they made me do, it wasn't, we couldn't do it buffet style because COVID, right? So it was individually boxed, every single meal, every time we sent something over there, we'd at least give them some homemade macaroni and cheese.
Yeah.
So everybody got the homemade macaroni and cheese. And sometimes we did a taco day one day. We did chicken wraps one time. We did chicken wings. And it started with, I got to get rid of this food. I'm going to take care of somebody. But again, it was that other thing to get out of my head, because I'll tell you what, if I would have closed up those doors of that restaurant and secluded myself, I might have started drinking again, man. Yep. I might have, again, getting in my freaking head to where it's all about me and, oh, woe is me. They shut your restaurant down. Blah, blah, blah. Instead, get up. Do something for somebody else. Do something for somebody else. Do something. And it's
something.
Do
period.
Something.
And
I got these people that, I read all these articles. There's this guy, he couldn't find work. So something he did was he started doing research. He couldn't find work. I forget why he wasn't working. He started cleaning gravestones at cemeteries. He'd find the chemical stuff to get the limestone and all that stuff. He took a toothbrush, and I'm telling you, just something like that, just something simple. That's why I tell everybody, well, you know, I'm not much of a gym guy, so what do I do in the afternoon? Go to Oaks of Righteousness, grab a broom, feed somebody in your community, go somewhere, go to MCOP, go somewhere and donate your time. Because I want to tell you what, you start by it comes first circle, man. It's a change of life when you get out of yourself and you do something for somebody else, man, instead of just because sometimes I just want to lay on the couch. That's the last thing I should do. You know, as long as I'm rested, I get a good night's sleep, and I'm not sick or anything like that.
There's no need.
There is no need. Get out and do your neighbor's lawn. You got your yard done? God bless you, man. That's really good that you have a mower and you have the health that you can do your lawn. Well, what about that guy?
This dude can't walk. Go help him.
Yeah.
And then and then like you said, that friendship that you get from helping people, that's more than any money can put on.
Yeah. Well, it's how I feel about you guys. Cause again, you guys helped me. You guys gave me a beautiful gift in that video and getting your supporters and your followers out to my restaurant. How I feel about you is I hope that's how they feel about the people that I can help me feel about me and the friendships and those, the friendships that I've made in my charitable work, some of the best friends I've ever made.
There's enough room in my heart for every single person on this earth, even if they add another 7 billion.
It's a great way to think
for
about
real.
It,
like, and that's when I say I love every single one of you, that's serious.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. Well, you know, some people say like, well, I don't have time for friends. Well, that's not true. You might not have time to meet every obligation or every party that friend throws, or, you know, like one thing I tell you guys every single time, I wish I could get in your cars and follow you around and do what you guys do every day. But that's something where like, I don't have the time to do that, but I always got time for a new friend. I always got time for a new friend.
Yeah. And that's, and even the stories you hear from these new friends, I got the most, dude, being in the sauna, just doing it for my mental health. It's not only thing. I made so many friends that are older gentlemen that know so much more than all my friends.
Even on top of that, you know, Pillar Talk, you know,
I mean, people like you.
Pillar Talk started because we wanted to help people like you get their word out.
It's working, man. It's freaking working. And I hope that I bring something, you know, that's one thing that I'll always, you know, you learn twice as much when you shut up and you listen, you know. And I think I'm hoping I'm the talker here in this.
You're supposed to be.
Yeah. But that's something.
Shut up.
Yeah. if I wasn't talking enough, he would. Right. So I must be doing something right, Josh.
Yeah.
That's I think that'll always be something that I need to, and it's in the forefront of my mind, to be more quiet and to listen more, to again, like to, you know, because, and again, to surround yourself with good people too. You know, my dad always told me, you know, you should listen to everybody. That doesn't mean that you have to do everything they say, but you broaden your horizon so much when you just have an open mind and really an open ear, because these people that I've helped turn around and help me twofold, you know. And
you helped me enough now that I'm able to help you. You helped me enough. I'm back off of here now. I'm ready to help you.
That's correct.
Like
that's correct. You get the next friend to that point where they need to be, and you never know what's going to happen to me next week. You have no idea. I might need a ton of help from you guys, because I just took 2 steps back, and you guys are where you need to be because of somebody else. So, and
that's. And like when you said like I do this, or I was helping myself, and you were looking at it like you were
I was
helping
bartering.
yourself instead of helping other people.
Yeah.
That like this Pillar Talk got started because I needed an outlet. That's
stuck. What I'm talking about. I know why this is it. You told me that.
I needed an outlet. I needed friends.
That's what Ryan, when the first time I met Ryan, he's like, you know, the first time we did a video together, he's like, dude, I hate doing videos. I'm like, really? You're great. But that's a guy that saw something he was struggling in his life, putting himself out there, and all he's doing is doing what makes him feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying do something that makes you, but do something that's going to make you better. If it's public speaking, start by talking to a small group. Start by talking, because that's the kind of stuff that's going to get you where you need to get.
He's a lot better.
That was lighted up for me.
He's jamming good. He's a professional, man.
And
he's a straight professional.
He's a lot better than what he was, and that's all you got to do is just do it.
Do it,
because it's gonna be uncomfortable doing.
Get off the fucking couch and do it. The
more you do it,
and
the
I can say I'm Lutheran. I can say that for whatever I want.
and because sometimes I thought that was selfish too.
No,
like getting it because I'm getting a friendship now. I'm getting better, and I got something else to think about. It's helping my mental health, but it was also helping other people at the same time.
Yeah, again, you have to. You have to help yourself in order to help anybody.
Mm-hmm.
If you're sitting on the couch, you're not doing anything day after day after day, you're no good to this world.
How am I supposed to love you if I don't love myself?
Exactly, man. Exactly.
And that's
done.
Yeah. Yeah. What time is it, Josh? 15 minutes.
Oh, I'll fill that gap, baby. I'll fill that gap.
Your story of recovery.
Yeah,
like I didn't even know that. That's really cool.
I put it out there, man.
I've also had a struggle with it. So like, I mine was uppers though. I liked the stimulants, and that is a big thing of why I didn't want to do the pills again, because my dad, I was honest with my dad about my drug habits only when I was done. Or when I needed his help, like, Dad, I was addicted to crack for a little while, lost my apartment.
Well, I guess it's always easier when you've made up your mind to better yourself, and that's one thing with sobriety is the biggest thing that I guess my sobriety brought to me was the honesty back in my life. Because when you're
lying to yourself, you can lie to your wife, your kids, anybody. Dude.
You know what? You're darn right. I never even thought about that, because I was lying to myself every single day.
Ain't you the most important? You're the one looking out of your eyes.
I never even thought about that, T. That's exactly what it is, though, too. And it started and I guess that's probably one of the reasons why I have a love for Oaks of Righteousness. Everything happens for a reason. It was just a random, the 16th of September. What was it? It would have been 2017. I drank almost an entire bottle of Crown Royal, and I woke up and in my regular panic and my guilt and my shame, and I had to go around the house to make sure I didn't, leave anything blood. I mean, who knows the way I was.
What did I break in the house today?
Seriously, man, before I could fix it, before somebody else saw it, right? And I get on my phone, and in the background, and still this day, if you go to Monroe AA meetings, it makes you download a PDF of all the meetings in Monroe County. And I still to this day, I don't remember downloading that PDF, and I really attribute a lot of that to my higher power for making me right. So
dude, in your blackout state, you downloaded this shit.
Download a PDF form of Monroe County AA meetings.
Drunk as tits,
And I went blackout drunk, because so there was never having enough of a good thing. The only thing that I would stop was when. And wherever it was, the couch, the garage, like you said, down in the basement, naked, whatever it was, that's where I woke up. So in that blacked out in that state, I downloaded a PDF form for AA meetings in Monroe County.
That was your higher power saying, "Dude, do something real quick."
You got to, man. You got to, yeah. And I knew for a long time I had been drinking too much, and I knew, definitely the last 3 years, I never stopped, and one of the things that when I quit the opiates, it was just like, boom, the bottle just fell in my hand. I'll never forget. We were tailgating for a Lions Monday night football game, and I was in the front with my two friends. And a lot of people can do things that I can't do, and they can do it safely. But they were taking Vicodins. He had some Vicodins in his glove box from getting his tooth extracted a couple of weeks ago. Right? He's like, "Hey, da, da, da," and he's shaking it. And I said, "No, man, I'm good." And I felt so proud of myself until it took me getting sober that I had a bottle of tequila and a Modelo in this hand. I didn't even have a hand to take a pill. I was filling it with alcohol. You know what I'm saying?
You're filling that void.
I was filling that void with alcohol, you know? So
if you didn't have one of those in your hand,
exactly.
you might as
Exactly.
well.
And how much of a better guy was I not taking a Vicodin with double fist and drinks?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm such a better guy for not
I'm
being
better
a
than you
drug
because I'm not
addict.
taking Vicodin, but I'm so fucking drunk right now.
Exactly. And that's what it turned into, you know, because I started drinking that day at 9 a.m. in the morning. Well, frig, the game didn't start till 9:15. This is a Monday night football game. I don't even want to tell you the rest of that night. It was a mess.
You don't know
it was a
it.
disaster. They filled me in on what happened after that. So find that PDF. I was always a functioning alcoholic. I own my business. I still took my girls to school every single morning. My youngest daughter, actually, they were both going to the same daycare that my youngest goes to now, except my oldest was going to preschool at the time there. And I had to be there at 9 o'clock. And there's on the top of the list of AA meetings in Monroe County was 9:30 Oaks of Righteousness. And I've admitted this to everybody that I could. This was again my ego, I think, and it was just, you know, who I thought the frig I was.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go to an AA meeting at a homeless shelter because I have nothing in common with these people. Right? I'm going to go in there and I'm going to see a bunch of, you know, in my mind, people that's what, you know what I mean? And I'm going to talk myself into
what a dick.
straight up. But that's what my mind, that's what, and especially my alcoholic mind, man, I had to play that. What ended up happening was I found a group of people that I'm closest with now. Than
you related to every one of these people you didn't think you were going to relate
I cried,
to.
Man.
Yep.
I cried.
Hey, well, that's the thing, man. We're all going through the same struggle,
and we really are. And that's when, you know, when I put down that ego and I put down that pride, I'm dude, I'm so jacked up. I am such a walking disaster, you know, compared to where I want to be, you know, in my faith and in my life. Who the frig am I to think that I'm better than anybody or that I don't have anything in common? And I go to that meeting every single week. And again, I'm blessed enough to be able to help Pastor Boone and to do some really cool stuff down there. And that's really kind of what opened up to be the housing commissioner here in the city of Monroe. What I like to think I'm doing is I'm getting folks out of that homeless shelter into some affordable housing in this community, you know? So
some of the people that helped you with sobriety because these people that you thought you were better than helped you stay sober.
When they still are.
And they're still holding you accountable to this day.
Still holding me accountable.
It's been 4 years. They don't talk to me.
The more people that I have holding me accountable and keeping me out of my own head, the better chance I got.
Well, then you're going to have 30 people saying you're a dumbass.
I'll tell you, I'm honest with all of my staff at my establishments, and we used to have this Jack Daniel's pasta, and it was a terrible joke. I should have never done this. It was a Jack Daniel's pasta we used to have on the Jack Daniel's prime rib pasta, and it's still pretty damn good. But you'd put a half a shot of Jack Daniel's at the end. It's peppers, onions, mushrooms, prime rib, pasta, garlic.
Sounds good.
Hit it with a half a shot of Jack Daniel's and top it with beef gravy. It's jamming good. I had this bartender fill a shot glass with iced tea. And I said, it was a busy Friday. We had tickets over here. I said, cheers, guys. And they knew I had a pasta and they went like this. And I saw the eyes.
They were going to fucking beat you with whatever they had in their hand. I'm going to smack you with this chicken.
And I was like, it's iced tea. It's iced tea. It's iced tea. But again, my staff holding me accountable for my actions.
You're their boss.
Yeah. Well,
and they were all your boss in that moment. You motherfucker.
That's good.
No. That's good. You're their leader.
I like to think that.
That's the difference. If you were just their boss, that wouldn't happen. It's because you're a good leader.
And I'll tell you, Josh, I had a real good friend tell me recently too that, and I think that's part of the reason why that I, you know, being surrounded by good friends is he said that, you know, being a leader ain't hard. It isn't easy, man. You know, being a boss is a lot different than being a leader because anybody can clear the payroll.
Yeah.
Anybody else can make sure there's groceries in there. Anybody else can really cook and do the job I do.
Mhm.
But not everybody can care about my staff and care about the community and care about them. And I think
That's important.
well, especially in these rates, because again, like if I wasn't sitting on 98% of my staff that I had going into this pandemic, I wouldn't have this restaurant, and I for damn sure wouldn't able to have been to open a secondary location, across the street, that pizzeria, if I wasn't taking care of my staff. Because if we learned anything in these last 2 years, you can go and you want to go do anything right now, T, go do anything. You want to make more money, go make more money. You might not like it, but you can go do it. So holding, again, almost every single one of those staff members through this pandemic and using unique ways to keep them paid and keep their bills paid and to keep my bills paid. It's really the only reason why I'm still in business right now.
Yeah, and I've seen some of those people have worked there for years.
Oh, well, Jean Haddix, she came with the building, she's been
You
there.
have to acquire this asset too.
No, yeah, it's part of the, part of the contract.
She was in the contract.
She was in the building. Yeah. Well, she's been there longer than I've been alive. And again, she helped mold me into the employee I am, working with her for 14 years, and also the boss and the owner I am today. I'm sitting on, I have, Becca in the kitchen. I just moved her to the kitchen. I mean, this is a person that's worked for me for 16 years, started as a dishwasher, then went to salad bar, then went on the floor, and she's been a server all these years. I was hurting for cooks. And she took a step and went to the kitchen, but she's been with me for 16 years. I got my kitchen manager. He's been there 5.5 years. I got Heather, my floor manager. She's been there for damn near 12 years. I mean, I'm just surrounded by people, not just these last couple of years in this pandemic, but we're talking long-term employees.
They're not just employees. They're assets to
family.
The company.
I
they're
say,
assets,
I'll
valuable.
Yeah. Seriously. That's what I'm saying. When Jeannie came with the building, I have to, man. I have to. I'm nothing without them.
You love these people. You love these people. You never would have known if you never would have owned this business and you never would have cared about them. You would have never loved these guys.
For sure.
I never even knew them.
I probably wouldn't have known them.
Now you know they're fucking kids and shit.
Oh yeah. Well, and we do. I just told them I took them to Cedar Point last year. And that's what I just told my managers to just this past weekend. We're tired, man. We're all tired. We've been busting our ass. Here in the next couple of weeks, we're gonna close on a Sunday, and I'm gonna ship them all up to Cedar Point, and we're gonna ride roller coasters all day, and I'm gonna flip the bill, and that's just what you do with family and friends.
That's what you do. That's and. Geez, thank God I get a day to rest, and stuff like that. And you don't know how much that puts into them too. Like, oh man, or like, what if they never went to Cedar Point?
A lot of bosses don't give a shit, man. A lot of them don't care about their
mental
health Monday.
Yep.
They're just and I'm not by no means am I the bar owner that's preaching at people drinking or partying or nothing like that. But what they do know is that they can come to me. And I'm not gonna judge them. I'm not gonna, throw them. I'm not gonna throw anything in their face. And I'm just there for them, man. Because again, without them, I mean, for selfish reasons, without them, I wouldn't have a restaurant either.
Yep.
And it's taking care of people. So I like to think that we, you see a lot of businesses. Well, the employees are family here, and we treat them like family. I try to.
And then they go back there and tell them, "Hey, dude, we'll hire another cook in a fucking
you're
minute,
replaceable
dude."
in a second.
Yep.
I actually had and I'll spill the beans. But I had one of my. Actually, one of the guys that Becca replaced as she moved into the kitchen. He got himself, he's a young father, and he'd worked for me. He quit other times. He became a manager at another place, and he didn't like it. And he came back, and my door's always open, as long as you left good and everything's good there. He did. He left, and he left for about $6 more an hour, and he's working at the docks in Detroit. And he's getting tons of overtime. He's getting really good pay, and I'm really proud of him. But that he came up to me and he goes, "Man, I should say I put myself out there. I gave him a loan when I know he was quitting to go get reliable vehicles so he could get to his new job. He paid me back half already." and I'm not even worried about the other. I'm not even worried about the other half. But that's just, and to be real, he came in with his girlfriend and his daughter this morning for lunch. And it was great seeing him. I gave him a big hug, and I think, and a lot of those things.
Don't get mad at him for making himself better and making a better path for him and his girl and his daughters.
And so are you hiring? I talked to my kitchen crew when this was happening. I said, the jobs are out there, guys. I said, I'm never ever going to be mad at you for trying to better yourself. Who am I to be mad at somebody for trying to better
we're friends. We can still be friends.
Boom.
We can still be friends.
We're still friends.
We're homies forever now.
I'm still letting you borrow money, for God's sake,
Yeah, you son of a bitch. I'm going to love you forever. I'm never going to leave your life.
That's just, I think that the places that treat their staff like that I think they have a hell of a lot better shot at surviving this kind of stuff. Are we done?
We got to be done.
The wizard's out of the closet.
I got 2 questions for you.
Okay.
2 questions. Plug yourself. Shit. Plug him
He's
in.
from the other side of the wall now.
So you can say, hey, you plug yourself in?
Plug yourself in. Shut.
That's not a
Go in there.
That's a statement.
This dude's
that means.
Don't make me come out here.
You're frustrating him.
Plug yourself in right now,
Monday, Josh.
Yeah,
frig,
man. Plug yourself in. How they can reach you online, or actually, you know what? Give me the addresses to your businesses, and then tell us about Maybe Day. One more time.
7697 Blue Bush Road in beautiful downtown, maybe Michigan. It's become quite the staple there. We've grown quite a bit. You can't really miss us. The 3-way stop. Just look to your left or right there, or look to your right, and there's my pizzeria, Village Pizza Company. That's at 9023 Raisin Street. Look us up. Little Brown Jug on Facebook is probably your best shot. We do a lot of cool stuff. We try to be unique on there, both Facebooks, Little Brown Jug maybe.com, Village Pizza Company maybe.com. Hit me up on Facebook. Maybe Day, Saturday, May 7th, the day before Mother's Day. We're going to have strawberries, carnivals. We're going to have a petting zoo. We're going to have over 50 vendors, fair food. We got an antique tractor show. The one thing I forgot before, Addie's closet parties. They're bringing out the princesses and superheroes all day long. And that's, again, all this stuff, the carnival, the bounce houses, Addie's closet parties, the petting zoo, that's all free. I flip the bill on that for the community. And we'd love to have your support. The restaurants, the pizzeria, whatever it is, man, and
come
if we
out
can
and
help,
have a good time on Saturday.
Yeah. And if me or my business can help you in any way, we got a lot of different unique opportunities to help our community. So come check me out. Like I said, we'll do fundraiser in the bank room for a cancer survivor or somebody that lost their house to a fire. I mean, we do all kinds of things.
One last thing to ask you.
If you told me I could take my pants off when we started.
Why
that's not the question.
Yeah. If you had one last thing to say to the world, what are you saying?
Get you a higher power. Get you a higher power. And a higher power can be anything. Mine is Christ Jesus. Anything that is stronger and more powerful than you are. You have to humble yourself to something, and I think the best way is a higher power. So get you this world is not going to get any easier. Get you a higher power.
Dude, and that is it for episode 112 of Pillar Talk. Thank you so much, Jeth. You guys have a wonderful day. I love every single one of you. And I mean it.
Ranger. Fuck yeah.
All right, man. I feel good.